Let's see. And we are live, running the usual test, asking myself, are we live? And then determining that we are live. And so, welcome. New stream, stream number 6. It's raining outside, looks pretty cool, good vibe. Uh, and this week, we are not working on the same piece I was working on last week. I'm sorry if you were looking forward to the Omni title theme, but no, right now I am in the middle of a game jam, and I was like, man, I don't have a lot of time to work on all the assets I'm trying to create. Um, and so I decided, okay, I'll just work on this song during the stream. So this is the Low Res Game Jam 2024, which for those of you who aren't familiar, and you can check all game jams out on the itch.io page, itch.io, to see which ones are going on if you wanted to partake in any. But anyways, the Low Res Game Jam comes with a constraint centered around the art, which is that your art has to be 64 by 64 pixels or less. So, like old video game graphics. Like I think the Mario sprite on the NES was like 16 by 16, which that's about what I'm going for. I've been working on the art, the animations and whatnot. And this is going to be the song. And then after I do that, the sound effects come next. But we're going to do what we always do, which is give this a listen from beginning to end. And then we're just going to push forward. This is the theme for a boss battle against the Master Wizard on the 2A03 chit. Let's see where we're at. All right, cool. So this is the challenge behind this piece is that I'm trying to do a pretty good amount of things with the little amount of channels that I have, but that just comes with using some cool tricks that we're going to be trying out. So let's listen back to this first measure, and I think we're going to be playing with the pulse wave. So that melody repeats itself twice, right? I think it sounds pretty cool, but what I want to do is the second time around, I actually want to try and change the timbre without sacrificing the oomph that it brings to the table. So let's see. That's where the roll happens. We have an instrument here called roll fast, which is just the if I go into note preview mode, that's really low pitched. It's just rolling. I have it switching between rolls and then tap and then kick. A note with a bit of oomph. Basically a blank note, but with a pitch sweep. And then what do I want to do here the second time the melody plays? What I want to do is I have the duty cycle command switching things up a little bit to help mix things up. I probably want to do that more often, or I just want to switch to a completely different timbre in general. The duty cycle command changes your level of pulse width for your pulse wave, which just makes it have a different timbre. See, so if I change 1200 to 1201, now I change it to 2. Alright, question is, how do I want to change that? One thing that I was considering doing is not just doing a straight change from one duty cycle to the other, but actually using one of these instrument presets I've created. Like I have one here that's called V1, V2 pluck. That's my way of saying that I'm switching through different levels of the duty cycle. And I think the reason I call it V1, V2 is because on FamiTracker, this is Furnace Tracker, FamiTracker, it wasn't 1200 that determined your levels of pulse width. It was a command called V00. So when I made instruments that switched through different levels of duty, I would call it like V1 pluck or V1/V2 drone, meaning it's switching between the two and creating like a chime effect. And I just still do that. I'm taking a sip of coffee. I got off the phone and jumped straight onto the stream. after I finished talking. It was a little over actually, but I haven't drank my coffee yet. We're waking up. I'm already awake, honestly, so the caffeine's probably just gonna have excessive uh effects. Or I might have drank decaf today. I've never drank coffee for the caffeine. It's always been the taste. The caffeine has just been a thing that exists as a part of the drink. Okay, so I don't have the correct instrument, I don't think. Let me preview. So that's D4. Okay. Yeah, so we want to do a duty cycle, right? Because what I tried doing there is I have a roll instrument that's labeled 0816, and that's actually the notes pertaining to an ARP. See how it says 1680? I have it listed backwards, but that's my ARP, and it's looping through those notes really fast. Essentially like using the 00XY command, except I just have it as an instrument preset so that I don't have to use the effect. I can just call the instrument instead. And it'll roll as well. That's another reason I bothered to make this, is because it's an ARP, but it also has like that volume roll. But I need a roll that instead of arpeggiating, it goes through a what do I want to say? The different pulse widths. So I'm gonna call this V1, V2, roll. And what does that mean? Right? It means we have the roll effect in our volume envelope. I'm looping these two volume values, these two values in volume. So right now, what it sounds like is this. But now we're gonna add the duty and noise command, which it has 3 levels. 0 pulse width is 0%. That's your base. 1 is 25%. 2 is 50. And then 3 is 75. Which 3 and 1 are actually the same. 25 to 75%. The timbre just becomes the same, I think. Oh, gosh, I forgot I had 2 values. I can preview that again. So this is 0. This is 1, 2, 3. I said they sound the same, but there's like a difference. Huh. I'm wrong. Don't listen to me. Anyways, what we want to do is jump between 2 values, and I think for this, I want to try 3, 3 to 2, and we'll loop it. Now I have it set to 3 values, and I have 2 of them at 3 and 1 at 2. That spaces out the jump between different pulse widths and gives it more of a slower chime. Let's test it with the note that we're actually going to be playing, which is a D 4th octave. Pretty sure that's it. Hold on. So you can hear it, it's slightly different. See, it has a bit more variation, I guess. We want there to be variation in the notes. Alright, we want it to sound different. But we want for the melody and the notes to be the same. Yeah, so it's since it's switching between two different timbres, it kind of eludes you into thinking that either a new instrument came into play or there were somehow two instruments like working alongside another. I might have to get another thing of coffee. I think I talked about it last stream. I've been trying these things called crazy cups. Pretty good stuff. This is also a roll, which means I don't know. I could have it go to the default roll or so that's with both those notes as a roll. Let's try it. Okay, now both of those. Um. Also, you might be asking yourself, why do I have the volume level so low? I do plan to mix this later, so like you'll notice that the pulse wave is actually pretty weak. I might make that a little bit louder down the road, but all I'm focused on right now is the mix, and I don't want to have any of my channels like at the max volume because that would mean that the sound waves for each of these channels is maxed out, and so anything louder than that, and your waveform starts to clip, and it'll remove the shape of your waveform um, at the top of where it peaks because it's clipping. Um, But if I have a little bit of breathing room and I'm just focused on the mix, on having all the instruments balanced, then I can export each of these channels separately when I'm done into like Ableton and do some EQ, do some mixing or whatever. Um, then it'll have some proper oomph. I didn't used to do that, but I've started doing it, and I will say it helps versus just trying to have it at the max volumes from the get-go and then balance it that way. Like even then, when you do it like that, I would say that it still ends up being a little quiet when you compare it to other songs, and that's just the power of mixing and mastering. I'm rambling a little bit today. I apologize. Um, let's. I might have to create another instrument. So yeah, this is the tap. All we're gonna do is create um instruments just like the ones I had, like the tap, for example, except they need to possess the duty roll quality that I've been talking about. And I'll show you what I mean. Like if I go to the tap instrument, right, then it's 3 volume. Three of these are at 15, and then one is at 0, so it just immediately dies off. Hence why I call it a tap. Um, and that's what the tap instrument is. That's all. But on top of that, we also want to have this, the duty noise thing. So, did it? Yeah, yeah. Ooh, you hear that? It sounds just a little different. It sounds clicky, which we want that because now it's going to crescendo, it's going to build up, it's going to sound different from how it sounded the first time, but in a good way. I want it to sound more aggressive, more wild because we're building up right now. This is kind of like your pickup measure. Might honestly be just the first measure. I might try to find a way to make this song loop. All right, so we're gonna actually keep the roll. So, and then go to that tap, that unique tap. Okay. Yeah, you can hear. See, it sounds a bit more meaty. Uh, this will be called V3V 2 tap. Look at me using the V3 number 3. I used to never use it because I had convinced myself. I was like, V1 is the same as V3. 25% versus 75% pulse width. They sound the same. Then I sat here and explained it to you and realized I've been gaslighting myself. They sounded different. I might also just be going crazy and inadvertently gaslighting you. It's fine. Tap, V3, V2. These are the same for the most part. Okay. And then I go to 5, the roll fast. This is also roll fast. Let me say that that's a roll fast. I say roll fast and roll mid. You might have noticed in here, which basically dictates how fast the note is quote unquote rolling. Like that's a roll mid, right? It's slower, and it's because I have 2 volume levels at 0 instead of 1. So the loop takes just a tiny bit longer versus with the fast roll, there's only 1 0. So it gives me some variation. I might switch between the two depending on how I want it to roll. Then of course. Yeah, you can kind of see the ways that you play around with that type of stuff. Um, let's see. So 5, roll fast. V1, V2, roll fast. That's instrument B. And then 4, 4, that's tap, tap. So we want C, C instead. I'm calling out the instrument numbers to myself. It's going to help me just switch these instruments real quick. I'm switching all the instruments from their default to the new ones that I created that feature the duty swappage action. Uh, this is instrument 4. This is tap, so we want C. This is 4, so we want C. Not, yeah, C again. Then 5 is the roll fast, which is where you want B. 1 is our pluck. What is this? Yeah, okay. Do I have a pluck? I do. I had, well, yeah, I do. Number 7, V1. It's a V1, V2 pluck. Let's try it. Let's see what that sounds like. Actually, I think if I do Control Enter, yeah, it just previews it. Yeah, every time you hit Control Enter, it just moves 1 down. It's all based on where your cursor is, though. Okay. All right, cool. All right, I will be right back. I'll put something in the chat regarding when I'm back. I need to make a pause stream animation. All right, be right back. Yeah, sorry about that. Never a dull moment in the house. I'm back working on the Pulse Wave channel, right? Yep, cool. I need to get some little stream animations if stuff like that happens. Have like a little be right back. I don't know, an explosion, spinning balloon. If a balloon spins, do you even notice it's spinning, or does it just kind of look like a sphere? I feel like you would be able to tell. Anyways, uh, so yeah, we were changing this build up. Oops, okay. So that was the second time around. I need to hear it the first time around. We're looking for the difference between the repeat of the melody. Whoa. Yep, so we started implementing instruments that feature a duty swap effect, which helps it sound different. We need to keep on with that. So I'm going to keep calling out the names of the instruments to help myself with the transition. So we have instrument 5, roll fast, which needs to be instrument B, V1, V2, roll fast. 4, tap, that needs to be C. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, these are all 4. That makes my life a lot easier. And then we switch to instrument 8, which is actually a duty swap instrument with an arpeggiation. So getting a little crazy there, but that's exactly what we wanted and we held out for because this is the end of the build up. So that's when the craziest thing in this measure is supposed to happen. Right? You can hear like 2 instruments or 2 notes playing there. Same thing right here. Yeah, and then together it sounds pretty cool. Yep. So that's like your little transition. Yeah, so I don't. Ooh. It doesn't sound as different as I was hoping it would. Because at this point we've changed all the instruments. Let's give it a listen. Actually sounds a little weird. It's because they're all pluck instruments. Yeah, this needs to be a roll. And then a roll again. Let's try that. And it doesn't sound. A little counter melody right here. Okay. I have an idea. I want there to be a harmony. You know what I mean? Like a harmony playing the same notes as the melody on its repeat, but I just want it to be like an octave lower. Instead of the octave we're at, which is like so supplementary to us having the duty swap shenanigan going on, I might modify these instruments to have a arpeggio. How is it going to have an arpeggio? It's going to be 8 half steps down, which is a full octave. 8 half steps is an octave. So it just means that like when this plays the roll, it's going to play D3 and D4. And this is supposed to be C. So I got good catch right there. You know what? That needs to loop. I might have that wrong in my head. Hold on, let me. Okay, I was wrong. I said it needs to be a full octave down. I'm pretty sure I need it to be 17 half steps down. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 17 half steps down. You can't even do that with the arpeggio command. In fact, you have to type it in. If you want to do something like that on the instrument editor, you have to type in 17. So that's negative 17 now. And we're gonna... I don't want it to be as present, like just subtly present. Yeah. Yeah, you see how I have 2 notes at the 0? And then 1 at negative 17? Okay. It's so subtle. It might have to make the note louder. Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright, hold on. Let's give it more focus again. See, when I make it more of the focus, you can't hear the other note like you need to. We're gonna up the volume. I think I can do this with an easy command. Usually I do it manually, but once you do it manually enough times, you start to get annoyed. Enough to the point where you're like, you know what, let's use a shortcut. In this case, it could be Control Shift F2, or just right click everything that you've highlighted and hit values up, which brings everything up by 1. Yeah, cool, let's try that. Uh-huh. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do... Instead of a loop, let's do like a grace note with this tap. You know what I'm saying? Like negative 17. Negative 17, so linger for just a little bit and then arrive at the note that you actually put in. And that would be the tap. So... Might be too much. No, we're balancing it out pretty well. You just need to make sure it maintains that balance. I still think I have some notes not doing the effect. B and C. I don't know if I need that. Let's try this. Uh... The roll. Maybe. And this is I've been thinking this ever since we've been fleshing it out. I just wanted to get the volume thing under more control first, but right now, let's talk about the breathing room of these new instruments. And what do I mean by that? I mean like which note in the arpeggio is getting more focus, and do I like that or not? Right now, these instruments are set to give more focus to the lower note, the harmony, you could say, and then give you a little pinch of the higher note, the note that I place down. And what I'm debating doing is creating an instrument just like this one, except it swaps around the focus. So instead of it focusing on the low note, now it's like, oh, now I hear more of the high note for some of these notes, for some of them. Because it's become a question of which note do I feel like is more important to hear, and which one do I think the listener just needs a pinch of to be able to follow it a little better. Oh my gosh. And this is the type of stuff I would never have to think about if I just added more channels. But it's also a fun thing to think about. Um, I'm just making so many instruments. That's the part that always gets me is like when I start making more. So I'm gonna rename these. We're gonna call it tap low, and this is gonna be V3 V2 tap high. Maybe you can guess what I mean by that as I'm making them. I'll tell you in a second. Not yet though. You just have to guess. And then V1 V2 roll fast high. Roll fast low. Oh, wait. Oh. I might not even need you. Let's just start with the tap. Should be able to hear a difference. All right. Yeah, let's just copy. I mean, these are going to be the same. And then need that. Need that. All right, and this is where it changes. Maybe you guessed it, maybe you didn't. Uh, There you go. I don't even think it needs to be 3 val. I'm just gonna keep it like that. Uh, because we're not looping. We're not looping the taps. That's why I don't think that. It's just ending the low note a little faster. So like I would arguably only need to have it at negative 17.0. But I'm gonna keep it like that just because it's similar visuals. And then this was, yeah, it's V3, V2, so we just need 3. two, yeah. Um, then we can preview the differences between how these sound. Let's see. Oh, and not be in note input mode. Yeah, you can hear the lower note way more. I think I want the higher note to be heard at the tail end of the. I can't even imitate it. You'll see what I mean. Right here. So instead of instead of CC, it's gonna be CD. CD. So BCD, BCD, BCD. Let's try that. Um, and then what is this? The V1, V2 roll fast. Oh man, and it's looping. I don't know what I'm gonna name this differently. This is what I want to try. I'm not hearing enough of the high note in this version, so we're gonna do V1, V2, roll fast, extended. Not my best name, but as long as I remember it, then it doesn't matter. 15-0, negative 17-0, 3-3-2. Oh yeah, and this is what I wanted to do. Loop that, negative 17-0, but add an extra 0, and it stays in the higher note a little bit longer as it's looping. Duty noise, what was it, V1, V2, I think? No, 3-3-2. Okay. Interesting. Do I have that looping? Yeah, okay. Good golly. Oh, that needs to be looping as well. Yep. So let's focus on the oh, I could switch these around, dude. Okay. This is gonna change. I think it does it automatically. So if I bring C over to the tap, right? Oh, okay, it doesn't change it just means that these count out of order. I don't care about that as much. I care more about the names being together, if you get what I mean. So like every pluck instrument should be with the pluck instrument. It just makes more sense to me. Every tap instrument should be with the tap. Every roll should be with the roll. Roll, 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 roll. They see me rolling. Tap, 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 tap. All the rolls right here. All my plucks right there. Tick, kick. Okay. I forgot what I was going to do now that I've done all that. Okay, I remember again. I called it roll fast extended. We can call one high and one low. This is high. The high note is the bigger focus. This is low. The low note is the bigger focus. And now let's just change one just to make it make sense. So this is B. What? What is that? D? Tap high? Okay. Let's listen to it in full. It's hard for me to tell what I want to do. Right there. I want to hear the higher note right there a little better. The low note's too much. We're getting there. It's starting to be better. Yeah, and then it's there. We're getting there. Oh, that's right. I made another coffee. That was neglected coffee. That coffee tastes like neglect. It's not even that hot anymore. It's warm coffee. Like right there, I think we could benefit from hearing the high note. Then let's C, tap low. How about tap high and then low? Or tap low and then high. Yeah. I feel like once I figure out this intro, the other stuff's gonna come a little bit faster. That's usually how it always is, because you gotta make all your instruments, figure out what vibe you're going for, and then once you uncover the majority of that vibe, then you're just putting down notes. Right there, I don't like how it stutters. You know why it might be doing that? I have no idea. Haha, just kidding. You thought I had an answer. Let's just to hear what it sounds like. Good golly, did not like that. Okay, so oh wow, was that even the high roll? And it still did. Uh-huh. Adding in more rolls. I think it needs it right here. We've been purposefully holding off on the DPCM channel. You'll see right here, I have a single sample going on. Just kidding, there's multiple samples, but I'm only using one of them. I think it's the only one that I've mapped out to, which is a kick drum. Don't my run-on sentences just kill you sometimes? It's like taking me 2 years to get to the point, and you're just like, holy crap, this guy just keeps talking. Just self-roast session right there. Well, what I was looking for was... I don't see it. I might have gotten rid of the view on accident. It's the, it lets you see your samples. Well, that needs to be figured out. I need that sample editor. I don't even think that's correct. It's not. I mean, window, log viewer, blah, 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 blah. I'm talking to myself. Channels, grooves, mixer. Am I dummy dumb? All right, hold on. I'm not. I saved real quick. I'm saving again. I'm going to save this way too. We're going to open recent. There it is. That's exactly what I was looking for. This is the other song. Anyways, we're not here for that today. And what are you called? No. Sample. And then you would say use sample map. Go to the DPCM channel. Doink. Do I have no samples mapped out? I have to have a sample mapped out for this song. I could have sworn I was using one. We just went on a little side journey real quick. Yeah, look, F7. F7. Are you playing nothing? Get out of here. Oh, wait. I'm dumb. I am silly. Look, I had the wrong instrument selected. Ha 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 ha. Okay, but regardless, that's what I was looking for, is this sample view. I don't have it in the other song for some reason. No, we don't want to save. Oh my gosh. So I have to have the sample instrument selected for that view to be visible. That's good to know, I guess. Yeah, so all I have is the bass drum sample right now, and I've been using it for a sort of like, just to help with the oomph of the song, because I'm doing so much instrument juggling that I can't afford to really delegate kick drum vibe responsibilities to any of these other channels consistently. They can do it every now and then, like here. Like, you hear stuff on the low end every once in a while. But I can't maintain that because I need that channel to do other stuff as well. The same goes for the triangle channel. Right? And then I think this is just... Right. And so that's what this is for. Just a little bit of a build up to help. I need the pulse 1 melody there to gain a little bit more, I don't know what the word would be, clarity, to be a little bit more clear. It's a bit jumbled. That becomes the tricky part when you start making it do a bunch of stuff. right there. Solo it. That's right. Remember how I made the instrument a roll? I added extra rolls. So 2 E's too fast. Let's try that. No. Let's do a low. Let's do C and E. I don't know what I didn't like about that part. Hold on. I gotta listen to it in full again. Lost my direction. So, maybe it's both of these being a high roll. I might be too clicky and too much in the high end. I think I like that better. What is B? That's low? Yeah, want that to be high. Give it more low at the beginning part. And then it clears itself up by having 2 high rolls. You see what I mean? Yeah, it almost even helps with the build up. It's like first you're like you kind of feel it, and then the second time around you really feel it. And then just jump to that crazy RP build up thing, my bobber. Right, let's listen. All right, this is gonna be one of those moments where I take the DPCN channel and finally pay some attention to the samples. I'll tell you this, I don't know an amazing amount about how the sampling works in Furnace. I've used it all the time, but if you asked me to explain it to you, I'd probably get pretty confused during my explanation, and it's just one of the things I've never understood about it is that when I map samples to a certain note, the sample changes pitch depending on what note I map it to. So like if we listen to this right here, you know, I have my kick sample right here. That's cool, whatever. But then if I go to here and let's say I map it to C7, so C at the 7th octave, what note are we at right now? Bam, we're at C7, right? And that sounds a little different because DPCM, differential pulse code modulation or whatever, I guess what it means is, you know, the NES could only handle but so many, it only has so much storage space, and so when you plug in a sample, it's going to like downgrade it and give it that nitty-gritty quality that it's known for. And one of the things I've struggled with when establishing like all my samples is the pitches of each sample, because I can't have everything mapped to the same note. And so when I start mapping it to other stuff, like the clap, for example, like I could map it there, but if I map it to E7, let's see what E7 sounds like. Actually, that sounds the same. I might be tripping. Well, no, I'm not tripping. This is one of those like trust me, bro, sort of deals where like in the past, when I've mapped stuff to different notes, it's also changed the pitch, which might have been a setting that I had turn on. But now it sounds good. So let's start fleshing out the percussive ideas for this. Starting with the kick. Need our snare drums in here too. Let's get rid of that. Let's start. I want the snares right next to the kick. And then we'll have the toms move their way. I got a lot of tom samples. I don't know what they're all for, but we're going to go with it. Don't even know if I'll use it all. We're just giving ourselves the options. Is that? Yeah, it's the only snare that I have. Okay. And I still want it to be a little bit. This is the ECXX command, so I am cutting the note a little. Yeah. Just a little bit. Um, right now I'm thinking it's gonna be a simple drum beat. I always start simple and I don't try to completely finish my percussive ideas because all I really care about during these parts is the rhythm. Um, so that I can start working on other parts. I'm just trying to think of what sort of vibe I want. Where's my snare? There it is. I have it on one of the minor keys and I keep skipping over it when I go over to my MIDI. That was another thing I used to not have that's actually been pretty helpful. I have a little mini MIDI keyboard. It's in a Akai MPK. It's a small one, but it's got an octave up and down button so that I don't have to click this thing every time I want to switch octaves. There's just a button right next to me I can click. A lot easier. Even more simple than a shortcut key, honestly. And it's a bit easier to navigate than the keyboard itself because when you're inputting notes on this tracker, you just have your keys like, you know, A, S, D, F, QWERTY. All those keys, they're all like different notes, which isn't bad. It's just, I don't know, quality of life. Oh, it sounds so wacky right now. Kakarot. Gosh. What is this note? Good gosh. Oh my gosh. And all I could only have a single note playing. You can't like you don't have polyphony on your DPCM. So I can't have two parts of the drum kit played at a time. I just gotta decide what note I think is the most important for you to be able to hear. And if I feel like I'm missing something, find a way to make up for it with these other channels. Oh my gosh. Alright, we're turning that off. I have the arpeggio still active over here. I think that's why that's happening. It's still doing it. Wow. Alright, it's 0. What is doing that? What? Okay, hold on. What is doing that? It is one of the pulse channels. I have that at 0. The meter here isn't even telling me that it's playing. It is pulse 2 though. Even though I have that at 0? What do you mean? It doesn't like that I start anywhere other than where the volume is. That's actually whack. I'm so salty about that because of how it's affecting my ability to... Bam. That was a silly roundabout way of fixing that problem that I'm going to have to fix later. When you want to preview from a certain spot in your composition, though, you know, it's a little bit annoying when other stuff is playing. Then you have to play around with the soloing and whatnot. I love all those weird sounds. You hear that thing at the tail end of that? Ain't no way. Where's that coming from? What is playing that? Is it... The noise channel's doing something. But there's no way. I have it... I don't know. Okay. That's the raw... It's not even the volume channel. That's the instrument channel. Actually crazy stuff happening right now. Furnace tracker is determined to drive me crazy with that. Whoa. Like, see, that's crazy. Everything is set to 0 except for the DPCM, and we could hear some sort of arpeggiating pulse wave. Like... Alright, well, the answer has been literally to mute the pulse channels when I'm trying to preview the DPCM, the percussive stuff specifically. There. Is that... I can't tell. Yeah, you see the way that... Right here. I can put this up as well. Look at the DPCM sound wave. It's like a lingering static, which honestly might sound pretty cool in an offbeat or even downbeat sense when it just like ticks like that or crackles. Or it just might not be noticeable once I put in the other parts to the song. That tends to be the case sometimes when it comes to the way DPCM behaves, or PCM. The only time I've ever had a problem with something like that is when I did the Extinguisher theme for the last year's Low-Res Game Jam. I used the Namco 163 sound chip, which comes with a ton of, I think they're FM channels. They use wavetable synthesis, but that chip has a clock rate, or I don't know what you would call it, but essentially all of your unique waveforms, because it's wavetable synthesis is like you can have custom waveforms, which means you could have any sort of instrument patch, pretty much, almost like a synth. But the catch was that you had up to 8 channels on that Namco extension, and the processor for that sound chip could only recognize a change in waveform
one channel at a time, and it would like as the song was playing clock through every active Namco channel to see if there are any changes in the waveform, basically your timbre, and to acknowledge that. And if you had 8 instruments at once doing different things, and the chip couldn't keep up with those changes as you were like building in complexity in your composition, then it would just create this super annoying high pitched sound that if you go on my YouTube and listen to that Extinguisher song, it's called I just forgot the name of the song, Uninvited. All you'll hear is that high pitched ringing. I need to mix that and get rid of that. It should be easy to do with an equalizer, but that was something I struggled with and that I learned about when I used that chip was like if you're using up to 8 of those channels, that ringing starts to occur, and there are some effects to mitigate that. Like you can actually use commands to determine which channel the chip focuses on, especially if you're like very specifically only doing instrument juggling in one channel, then you can tell the chip to like, hey, you know, divert more focus onto this channel so that that ringing doesn't occur. I think that's a preventive measure you can take. I'm pretty sure there are preventive methods and whatnot for avoiding that, but I was a scrub first time using my chip, that chip, and that song definitely shows it. It was a cool idea, but the ringing is just, oh my gosh, I need to fix it. Anyways, yeah, right there, I was interested in what the kick was doing. I need to go ahead, add some other notes, probably. Okay, actually might change the timing of those kicks. Uh, that note lingers for a good while. Did it? That tom? Actually gonna cut it off prematurely right there. I think I feel like that's gonna sound cool. EC03 gives it a bit too much breathing room, I think. I have no idea what that is. I think I cut that out and pasted it down here because it was an idea I had for something down the road. An idea of which I don't remember at all. It might have been a harmony. We'll come back to it later, see if I remember something. Okay. So, here's the deal, right? I don't know if I like my DPCM part or not, but it's hard to tell. As I said it would be because I don't have my other parts figured out. So this is where we just walk away from that for now and we start working on the other parts. So I'll jump to the previous measure and see where things left off and then try to continue it. And also make sure all the channels are playing. Gotta give that more thought again. I don't have a cymbal instrument on here. I could probably get away with just using the blank and using a noise taper. I try not to underestimate the power of the blank instrument, which what that is just, and I call it blank because it's an instrument that has nothing in the properties. I haven't done any edits, and so by default, it's just this. Isn't that awesome? Right? No special properties. Oh, that sounds cool. We have the duty turned on. Whenever you have duty turned on for noise, it gives your noise a metallic property, which is pretty cool. We've already used it a couple times. Um, we don't want that for the beginning of this measure, though, I don't think. It's, oh my gosh. Let's try that. Really subtle cymbal thing going on right now. I'm probably going to want to do something more complex with the noise channel. Um, uh, oh, I just thought of something that I want to do. Oh man, I don't know if this is gonna work. um, uh-huh. What do you end? Um, why is this not? Not a fan of that ringing. I'm all about that variety. Can't forget that up here in the previous measure, you'll see 0A, 03. We had the volume taper off, so this might honestly be set to a really quiet. Yeah, that's a lot louder. OA10 start at 5. And then make sure that we get rid. Oh, no, wait, we jumped to OA01. OA01, and then we reset. Okay, never mind. We're good. We're good. Honestly, I want to see what this sounds like. This is the arpeggiation. And then have it taper off faster. But it needs to be more powerful too. Like, so here's the thing about this, right? We're using 0AXY right now, which is a regular volume taper, but if I'm not liking the way that the volume is decrescendoing or crescendoing in or out of existence, then we can use the F3XX command, which is a fine volume slide. I'm pretty sure if we do this, though, we got to do two things, right? We got to set the OA command back to default so that it stops influencing the volume with that command. Then we can set the fine volume slide, and we want the down one. Let's start at F405, and then we'll start at A volume level. So way too long. Let's try 9. All right, just so I can hear a difference. Still very slow. So as you can see, how about 50? Okay, so instead of OA01, I like that better. We have a little bit more control, a little more room to decide on how we want that to behave. And then we got to reset it. If your volume ever hits 0 during a taper, actually, I'll just do this just to prove it, but I'm pretty sure the volume taper has to be reset. Like, watch. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Yeah, you see? Because it hit 0. It doesn't remember the next note needs to, like... Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, and see, now that I'm adding notes in between those cymbal taps, gotta get rid of the volume slide effect. It was applying it to those notes. Yep. Okay. So I want the listener to be able to hear the full taper of that first crash. After that, it might not matter as much, but that it helps that the DPCN channels are doing something there. Don't need them both doing something. The higher notes in the noise channel always get quieter, and you have to compensate by upping the volume. Or just go a lower note. What if I go 5 and then A? Huh. Oh my gosh, that little arpeggiation. I like that ting, but I also want some sort of like kick effect right there. We'll do a little volume. Good golly. I literally had to solo those to get rid of that arpeggiation, even though there's not one there. Okay. And I could either add more to the noise channel in here or let DPCM do its thing. So listen to it from coming in from the other measure, see how I feel about the momentum. Yeah, as far as momentum goes, noise channel's got a bit much going on. Transition isn't as smooth as I'd like it. Might start just at a lower volume for now. Let's see. I gotta listen to that again. Yeah, okay, so definitely need to keep playing around with the noise channel. Let's see. And I keep having to jump back to this measure to hear how it's transitioning. We can just start right here. I like that little glitchy effect, but I also need it, I think, to come in from the lower end a bit earlier. Because it just sounds a little out of place. Maybe if I... Hmm. Might be thinking a bit too complex, honestly. Let's just get the pluck. And then let's make this a kick. Trying to make it like wind down and then build back up like very quickly. It's not there yet. I think that needs to sweep in a little bit better. So let's go to the kick instrument. That's what we're using right now. And then let's make this 3-0. And I said kick, but we're going to put it at blank because I think the pitch sweep in the kick, because, you know, right here in the kick, that's how we're getting our kick effect, is sweeping the pitch really rapidly to the note that we want to play. I think that might be... Okay. Okay. From the previous, just play from right here. Where is that? I'm on the wrong one. Yep, okay. Oh, that's right, you're all a kick. That's why I just did that. How about change instrument, make them all blank. Maybe it'll have a smoother rise. No, I don't like it rising in pitch. I want it to... Maybe I want it to get gritty. So go from blank to a mid-roll to a fast roll. Might just have to jump straight into fast. Oh, that's right. The notes also need to remain. Or maybe start off rolling, but then gain clarity and become a blank note.
Oops, okay.
And then those are all fast. Let's change. I think I like that. Those notes. We can make that crescendo a little slower. I was so invested in that that went a little extreme. Maybe even 2-0 again. Now we got to listen from before again. Jumping a little. And this again is one of those things where I could keep playing with the percussion, but ultimately it's hard to feel good about it in full because we still haven't created our melody or I guess harmony or whatever parts for these pulse channels. So I think with what we have, I'll jump over to the pulse and start laying that out. So we'll play from the beginning, and this time I'm listening for the pulse channels and making a decision on what I want to do from there. Okay, let's go down an octave. I have a lower pitched idea first. Okay. Get a little bit of a swing going on right here, so there's a volume taper, so we got to take that away. You can see it right here. FA01 is telling the volume to drop. We don't want the volume to drop anymore. I got other plans. There's a, there's a lot of stuff going on in this measure. We got to take out a few effects. 00XX, 007C, I mean, that's your arpeggiation. Got to reset that. I'll reset that too. There. Then add some portamento, a note slide. Pretty sure it's the wrong note. Gotta check by playing from the previous measure. Definitely the wrong notes. Yep, that's the kick effect from the pulse that I've been using. I'm going to be doing some instrument juggling here. I got to decide what I want to do. I have a few ideas. It's just going to be me listening back and forth until I make a decision. Um, okay. 007C. E002 are setting back up the ARP. It's not playing it though for some reason. Oh, you know why? I think the portamento is still active, the note slide. Yep. We're gonna go up an octave. Um, and make that higher speed. And it's gonna fade in. Maybe. What? Did I get rid of something? Oops. Oh, I was wondering. That was a misclick. There's a lot of effects going on right now. What I want to do is a quick fade in. Uh, Dude, do I have to add another effect? So one, two, we got 5 effects right here. I want it to crescendo just for a split second. So it would be 1-0. This is a fast crescendo. FAXX does the fast volume slide. We'll start it at 2 and then see what happens. That's so fast. Holy cow. That might be too fast. We'll decide later. Now I gotta remember what was happening in the last measure. Son of a gun. That's a little high pitched. Yeah, we're going crazy with the arpeggios right now, but I think I just need a chime like sound, which would be the either the roll fast high or the roll fast low. I explained what these instruments mean earlier on, but if you ever want to ask questions to anyone who's watching, feel free to ask. Uh, my naming conventions are a little weird. Where is my... Let's just work on this right now. So make this... Solo that. Right now, that is it focusing on the lower note. I think I want it to focus on the higher note. Oh, that's definitely high. Good gosh. Let's go down an octave. I might even... So here is the problem. This is a roll instrument with both a looping arpeggiation and different like duty cycle loop. I think I only want to focus on one of those for this chime effect. I'm actually... And I like the name chime, so we're gonna call this a chime. V1, V2 chime for now. Let's try that. And this is going to be an instrument that loops the volume envelope between 15-0, and then the duty will be, what did I say, 1 to 2? Let's try that. And we'll just preview it. Oh, crap. that's what's going on. I have the arpeggio command active still, dude. I was like, why does it keep sounding different? I might be able to work with the other instrument then. Let's put that on. Okay. The instrument fall is happening. The volume fall. Let's just. Good gosh. Okay. Give it a little bit of an accent right there. What is that? Instrument number 4? That is the tap. It's going to be 1, and we're going to use the E1 XXXY command. This is our grace note. So if this is instrument number 1, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4. F4. I just realized I've been doing the wrong note. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, so this is where I want it to be like an accent. Let's do F4. That means it's gonna slide into the other note faster. Oh, so F4, so that means 4 half steps down. Okay. What's going on right here? The bass is doing a pretty good job doing everything it needs to in the lower end. Right here. Just for future reference, I think I'm going to want to have the pulse focus on the kick effect because the triangle switches to doing something higher pitch. think the timing's off. Yeah, I wanted to be on the and beat, not on the down beat. Uh, okay. Going for a thing here. Uh, yep. What volume is that at? It's at 5 right now. Just reset it there for now. We'll see what happens. Okay. That didn't sound right. Let's make it 1. Actually, make that 0. It doesn't need to be a kick effect. Just slide. Don't even need to do the volume thing, I don't think. Do you need to do the volume thing? It needs to cut off a little bit. Okay. Setting myself up for the melody once I start making it. That's too quiet right there. Just have not cared to change that. It's also not doing everything that I want it to. It's just a base concept. Okay. Jump back to the previous measure just to make sure things are transitioning from one to the other smoothly. The answer is no, it's not. I think the noise channel is responsible for that still. Maybe a little bit of the pulse. One, 0. Let's see.
I know. I like that. Just a little bit of timbre swap action right there. Um, so this is a mage. We're fighting a mage right now. You know what I could do? I could I don't know. I have stream quality is excellent. Cool. For the low res jam, basically we got this. Let me make sure the stream's functioning correctly. This is a mirror board that I'm using, but we got this boss arena. This is a really cruddy draft of what it would look like, but you got this ultimate wizard that's not his official design, but just this dude that you're fighting while these power-ups are raining from the sky. Um, and we have plans towards the mechanics to like make it fit the use it or lose it theme. That was one of the propositions. But yeah, that's what this music is going to be for, is like this magic boss battle. Just trying to think of how to keep it magical. That was all I wanted to show you, in case you were wondering like what the context of this piece is, the inspiration. So we'll bring that back. Close. Cool, cool, cool. So maybe you should focus on the melody. I think that's what's tripping me up. Okay. Oh wow. Yep, yep, yep. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. And then do this. Then get rid of that note slide. Uh, Timing's off. I think the notes are correct though. So, AM. And then that's going to have to be faster the notes slide downward. I still want to keep that effect. Actually, let's do that. Let's make that 50. Maybe. And then right now I'm playing around with ideas on the lower end. Stuff that's not sounding too good right now, but just kind of giving me an idea for how it feels. It's gonna have to be lower volume first off. It's way too loud. I might even change the timbre. What timbre do I have? That's two.
gonna be switching between stuff as I go. Let's see. Yeah, so I think in order for it to have that magical arcane sort of vibe, I need to go ahead and just commit this to a higher octave. And now it's super duper loud. That's just that timbre for that pulse width is so much stronger. I might give that some time to actually sweep downward and just not even. That sounded pretty cool. I didn't mean to do that. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't think. That's I slid that down in volume, but it's too fast. We're gonna try the fine volume slide command. So F4, let's try 30. Okay, and then reset it. So now. Why is that? Oh, it's the volume. Okay. Yep. Let's try this. Did not mean to do that one. Let's see. Let's change the timbre so it sounds like something else and not the same instrument right there. Then bring it back to the regular timbre. Make it a little quieter, maybe. Now we need to find out. Let's make that a slide. Maybe even slower. Can I get a really wacky vibrato for like a split second there? Let's try A4. X is the speed. Actually, let me double check myself on that. I'm using the vibrato command. Yeah, so vibrato, 0, 4, X, Y. X is your speed, Y is your depth. So got pretty fast speed, pretty mid depth. Very subtle difference. Like if I cut that out right there. Just a little tiny wave. I don't think those were the notes that I wanted. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Uh, the rhythm is off here. I gotta figure out what I. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, this is coming earlier. Earlier. Then I want to have like a ducker effect, I think. Pretty sure I just had to do some volume playing around and stuff. It's gonna sound weird right now until I put in some effects. I will be right back. Go use the bathroom. Excuse me. Okay, we're back. Uh, this is gonna be some. Du, du, du. 12. Let me see. Don't do that. This is gonna start a little earlier. That's. Wait a second. Uh.
I know this part isn't finished yet. I'm focused right here on the Ducker effect that I want to have, or the rise and fall. Okay. Oh, you know what? Vol Volume slide plus portamento. What does that mean? Compatibility only plus vibrato. X, Y. Don't worry about it. Oh, wait. Tremolo. Tremolo. 07XY. Oh, I haven't used tremolo in forever. Um, let's mess with that for now. So 07. That's the volume. Oops. 07. Then we got the speed and the depth. Let's try 6/4. Let's get rid of all of these notes so that they're not influencing the behavior of this effect. I'll cut them so I can paste them back later if I want them. Oh, wait. Let's put the tremolo right here. This is the note of interest that we want this effect to have, to be existing. Good gosh, I can't English right now. Man, see, I like that, and it's just a matter of timing, dude. That actually sounds perfectly in time with what I had envisioned. Let's see. What are you doing? Okay, we'll try and keep up whatever this is doing. I don't think this is the answer. Nah, that's like some Jaws crap. I could try the effect, the same effect, 07F54. Maybe a little bit less severe, so 5/3 less depth. There we go. When it's at 5/4, it kind of blinks out of existence. I want it to have a bit more of a noticeable noise floor. I think that's gonna be good. Let's see. It's gonna have to increase in volume near the end, probably around right here. So let's try. Just because there's so many little volume levels, if I did 0A10, it would probably rise way too fast. We're gonna have to do the fine volume slide, but I'll just do the regular one just to see what happens. It might not be a problem. We gonna play on the side of caution though. F3XX is the slide up. We'll start with 30. I don't think this measure here. We're gonna take it, cut it, add a new frame, and then put it in this frame. And if I decide that it meant something long ago when I had saved it, we'll bring it back. Yeah, that's a bit more slower of a rise. Still got to finish these parts back here that I just stopped toying around with.
Let's finish the triangle idea right here. Can you tremolo? There's no way. You can't tremolo bass. Can you? The triangle channel? No, you can't. That's going to change. Something there's about to change. That right there. Uh, I don't know if this is going to work. We're going to do some... this is like my way of trying to imitate the portamento effect. You can't influence volume in the triangle channel. And so I'm trying to do like a weird portamento thing that might imitate it or complement the tremolo happening. Maybe make it 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. I don't want it to drone on. I don't want this to be the blank instrument. I think I need... Yeah, the pluck instrument might be better. And then have it blank right at the end. And we can get rid of all the portamento here. I'm not doing that slidey thing that I tried. Which means that all the A2s can go away. All that matters are these A sharps. Except for this one. This one stays, I think. Actually, this portamento stays as well. Yeah. Let's just start there for now. So the B1, E1. Trying some grace notes here. A little juggling. Nope, too stuttery. I don't like those bottom notes. I wanted to try it. Okay, this is gonna be one of those things where I think I have to make a new instrument. Triangle channel doesn't recognize changes in volume levels. All I care about is duration right now, which you can't really influence duration too well on the piano roll because, I mean, if you want to cut off the instrument, you only have 4 timings to do so. Whereas in the preset, I can add a bunch of volume things and have it be just a little bit longer, like a cymbal, I guess. This is like a cymbal instrument. Um, I don't want that. Let's try that. And then, what is this? Instrument 10? Oh my gosh. The struggle's real. We don't need that instrument. I don't like it cutting out in general. Let's change this. All these instruments. It's red because I just deleted the instrument. So now it's like, hey, that doesn't exist. What's going on here? Uh-huh. This might be the answer. Da, 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 da. Not 6960. Ha 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 ha. I think that's also starting late right there, that part right there. If we're gonna do what I'm doing right now. Something needs to change there.
Gotta be one of those quick ones. Then put this right here. Gosh, it's still too late. Too late. It's gotta be quicker. Oh, the portamento's still on. I was like, why are you sliding so weirdly? Oops. We're getting there. We're getting there. What's up with that? Um, this is, we're getting there. We're close. We are close. It's got to be even closer. Is there a fly in my room? Is that what's happening right now? Something just flew by me. It's my mascot, Buzzy the Fly. Oh, wow. Okay, I got this weird, like, stutter thing going on. Like, in a cool way, though. I think. Okay, ooh. So... Maybe. It's so close. It's still a little out of place. Okay, okay, okay. Oops. So 2, 3, 4. Let's try right there. Let's see. Uh, the up down slide, not a big fan. I like the upswing. I don't like the downswing. You get what I'm saying? Like, so instead, I would say, right, this is all of these lower notes are kicks, and that means on those notes that are kicking, there's no slide because it's just starting there immediately, and then you're sliding up. So or what does that sound like? Oh gosh. Oh, I don't think the portamento obeys if it has the downward note slide also barking orders. They like contradict one another. Okay, so maybe I was wrong. I think I like the kick at that beginning one, but then I want it. Or just so indecisive right now. I got a bunch of things that I want to try. Okay. Maybe have the swing down, but then go back to the kick, and then do the swing down again. Yeah, I like that better. And then I might even cut off one of these tremolo parts prematurely just to throw in an arpeggio that ramps up, but don't know yet. Okay, so we'll listen to it from the beginning, see how I feel about stuff, see where I want to pick off next. Let's see. Too many notes. I want. Okay. Ew. That kind of sounds pretty smooth. I was afraid that was going to sound jumpy if I switched timbres. But I guess that vibrato and the swing right there makes it sound appropriate. So pretty sure if the vibrato is there on that downbeat, it's not going to let me do the grace note that I want to do here, which is what is it? Oh, E1 XY. Gosh, I just forgot everything about everything for a second there. Okay, so it's a blank note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make it a quicker grace note because you just don't have a lot of time to hear it fully. Well, no, you might be able to get away with it. Hold on. Yeah, that works. And then I either time to experiment. We're trying to create accent notes here in this little part. Let's go. I don't know. Actually change this to a I want that to be a roll. Ew. I said I wanted, and now I don't want. But F. What is up with why I don't like this right now? I think I just need that to be this timbre. Oops, I got rid of it. I think I get rid of the note slide if I timbre swap like that. Here's a good way to test. No, I don't. Okay, we're good. Uh, okay. And let's not forget that we never did furnish the percussion stuff, which will help with that crescendo. Like I said, we jump around. We jump around. Let's see. Oh my gosh, this sounds like a Master Wizard boss battle, I believe. A wacky wizard. He's casting spells. It's chaos. He's got a bit of funk to him. Funk. There's like your bit of suspense mixed in with the flair of the wizard. I feel like if you're like magical and you're casting all sorts of spells and there's crazy stuff going on and like there's power-ups raining down from the arena, then you kind of want to like have a mixed party vibe with an intense vibe. That's sort of what I'm going for here. And like right there's nothing happening. I just haven't. Let's see. Oh my gosh, what is happening there? Jeez. It's incorrect is what it is. I want that to be. It's got to do that again. If you're gonna grace note like that, then we need another accent to complement what you were just doing there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. What's this F? I don't know yet. Okay. So we got. I think I want to mess with some like arpeggiations right there. The speed of it, and well, I'll elaborate in a second. What genres do you do? That's a good question. I try to be all over the place. Like right now, got chiptune going on. I think it's pretty appropriate for the low res jam. But I've done like background ambient music in the past for some VR experiences, and there's this tower defense game I worked on that was a bit more instrumental. So I've done like orchestral, background sci-fi, and then chiptune. And I'm still trying to spread myself out. I also did this game jam where I tried out some rock instruments, went for like a drum kit and guitar lead. So always trying new things. Yeah, let's do some like fade in arpeggiation there. I'm gonna switch the. This may or may not work. 007C, it's arpeggio. I want it to be a slow one. I think that's the right command. E0XX set arp speed. Yeah. So then we actually have to put down a note because right now there's no note. Oops. Okay.
can hear it. Very quiet. Here we go. What is this note? I forgot what this is. Ooh, that sounds wacky right now. Okay, let's focus on the volume rise. That's essentially what it is. Ding ding. Chip tune. Lots of beeps and boops. They sound so weird on their own sometimes, but you just gotta remember how it sounds in full. Okay, I got an idea. We're gonna do a kick, and then on the downbeats, I think I want to do a kick, and then some arpeggiations. So. Which also means that I'm gonna have to put my effects in the right spot. It's right now. Let's see. We're gonna have to turn the effects on and off, actually. Da, da, da. Yeah, that's like the slower ARP. See, like if I changed the speed of the ARP, it would probably sound incorrect. Like if I put this at 0.1 instead of 0.3. I don't know. We'll experiment with it, see how we feel. Then it's gonna have to get louder. Starting off quiet there. I could use the regular volume slide command for the crescendo, but it ticks up so fast. I'll probably have to use like a fine volume slide. Yeah, it's like immediately just blasting. So we'll go down. We're already at the bottom. So fast volume slide? No, fine volume slide. Upward. That's F3XX. F3. Let's try F330. Wow, it's super loud. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, still too fast of a volume slide. Let's try 10. It'll be subtle. Sounds like a Geometry Dash song. Dude, I would love to make a song for a Geometry Dash level. Like, that's just a on the back burner bucket list type of thing, but like the Geometry Dash community goes pretty hard, and when you get into like the map design for those songs, it's so whack. And I feel like custom making a song for a pretty hardcore like demon level experience would be cool. Okay, so yeah, I think that sounds pretty cool. We might even try and change the timbres. Right now, it's at 12xx, so our pulse width is like staying the same. But I could change it. So like see 0, 0, 0, 0. But let's try 1, 2, 3. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, and then after we finish that little build up, we got to turn off our arpeggio effect. And I turn off the speed as well. You don't have to, but I do. Let's see. Something's wrong there. Oh, that's right. So we increased the volume here, and I forgot to turn the effect off. I was like, why is that so loud? So bam, 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 builds up, builds up. We'll drop it back down to 5, see how we feel. And That part sounds okay. Probably need to elaborate on the noise channel a little. And by elaborate, I mean actually put notes down in this section because there's nothing. So yeah. I'm going to even experiment with bringing these arpeggios an octave up. You said that this is an SNES sound chip? It's not. I had talked to you last week about how I was working on a song with the SNES chip. But no, this is for a game jam. I'm using the NES chip, so this is just going to be a quick composition. Um, Easier to compose with, a little bit faster pace, but I can jump to the SNES like super quick and show you. The SNES chip are these yellow channels right here, the DSP7 channels, and they can afford instrument patches. So like, I'll solo this. Right, got all sorts of SNES instrument patches going on here that I've been getting to mess with on this song. But no, for this Game Jam one, it's just the NES, which is your 5 channels, 2 pulse waves, triangle, noise, and then DPCM, which is like your sampling. Ooh, there's a lot going on there. We're gonna have to maybe tone it down. Oh yeah, I tried that higher ARP idea. Let's see how that worked. Hmm. I like it. It just, once it jumps up to that high of a pitch, I feel like the jump in volume is also a bit staggering. So I might have it like build up twice, if you get what I mean. So like the build up starts here, but then tone it back down, right? Have it go back down to 5. Let's see. Yeah, I think that keeps it from being too loud. I'll delete this just to see. Sweet, yeah. And then right here, this is probably gonna be my next area of focus. I was just focused on getting the correct notes down, but these are the incorrect instruments. They're just like all plucking, but needed to have a bit more going on here. So let's see. This is a instrument 5. That's a roll. Don't know what I want there. We'll see how it sounds with everything else. Why is it? But the blank instrument is too loud. I could. Are familiar with IDM? No, that's not ringing any bells right now. That acronym. This is, oh, I know what's wrong. So I have this rolling right now, but it's like making the note sounding as if it's not present. So I that roll is just a bit too gritty, I think. So I'm going to go to this chime instrument and try this instead. Like Aphex Twin sort of thing. Is it a genre? Is it an artist? If so, I haven't listened to them. Maybe the mid roll right there instead of a fast roll. I could even that's super low octave. Start a slow roll and then go into fast. Uh, and then we're just trying to give this lead more character right now. It's the fast roll. I have other rolls as well. Let's try the fast roll high. And if you just tuned in, I explained earlier what my naming conventions mean. I'm like calling out instruments aloud. You probably don't realize what the difference is between them. But I did explain them earlier. So I want to go to the instead of the regular roll fast, I want to go to the roll fast high, which the difference between the two is the roll fast just has a looping volume envelope that plays the note just repetitively and fast. But then this roll fast, not only does it have a looping noise envelope, it also has a looping arpeggio and duty cycle. Has a bit more going on. So that was the question I was asking myself. Okay. Oh, Aphex Twin, kind of EDM, electronic dance music. I mean, I may or may not be familiar with it. I'll tell you what, I'm pretty unfamiliar with genre names or subgenre names. So, like if we were talking about a subgenre of EDM, then maybe I have or maybe I haven't listened to it. I've listened to a lot of types of music. I'm just pretty bad when it comes to like the classification. So if you had some like artists, some examples or whatnot in that sense to throw at me, I could listen to it and yeah, there's a chance that I'm familiar with it. Uh, da, 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 da. Maybe I want that to stop right there. And I could even try to get even more crazy with it. Make that a grace note. So go to blank. So E1949, the speed at which it arrives at the note. 4, how many half steps down you want to start at, semitones, I mean. So if this is D, we want to start at 1, 2, 3, 4. A sharp. and then it'll swing into D. Could make it happen a little faster. F4. And then this, I want this part to have a little bit more umph. The roll takes away from the umph. I think maybe we'll try the kick. Maybe even a different timbre for at the split second. So I could also have it drop off and pitch again, have like a downward swing. Just helps with making things sound percussive. And then bring back the grace note here. This is a very experimental part. Like I said earlier, I laid out the notes at what I wanted them at and the rhythm I wanted them to play. And now just comes the part where I'm changing the instruments and breathing some character into these notes so it sounds a bit more unique or standoutish. Makes the lead easier to follow. So this is A2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try that. I don't know if that's working or not. Let's see. Let's make that F4. Make it easier to hear that note. Sometimes I hit caps lock instead of shift enter, which starts it from the beginning of the measure. I might make each of those a grace note. A went. I think it might have a cool sound. Oh yeah, that needs to go back to the correct timbre. What is this note right here? Maybe. To be honest, you're just making the Crazy Frog tune at this point. The Crazy Frog tune. What, like Hopper? What is that game called? Frogger? Does Frogger have a tune that goes hard? I can't remember. Is there even music for Frogger? I don't know. so it's still a bit too plucky, that lead. Like, that. Okay, so what's happening is the note slide isn't happening. This is contradicting this. E1 F4 is contradicting the pitch slide down that I just created. Gosh dang it, I keep hitting that button. Let's take away E1 F4. That's our grace note, but we're gonna substitute it with portamento. So like by the time this is moved down in pitch, this note D3, it'll take wherever it is in pitch and then swing back up to G sharp. And it didn't do it fast enough, which is why it didn't arrive at the note that I wanted to hear. Oh, also, since the grace note effect is gone, there we go. Oh, maybe it needs to be a pluck instrument. And change the timbre. We'll jump back and forth. 1201. Changing stuff. Experimented. Getting better. Holy crap. My dog just walked up to my ankle like a ninja. And you know, just does his dog thing, just starts sniffing. And it just scared the crap out of me. My soul just left my body for a split second. Didn't even see him enter my room. Let's see. Crap. Put that back at 9. Put that at B. This is like a kick feel right here before we get to the higher pitch stuff. That's what I'm going for right now. Maybe.
Let's make these. Dun, 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 dun. We're gonna make them blanks, and then OA01 just have a fade each time. That doesn't sound right. Needs to drop faster. Maybe. And then get rid of the volume fade right there. Okay. Almost like an accent note. Tricky balancing act right here. Crap. Okay. There's one more part, I think, in this lead that's bothering me. It's this part. And yeah, because this fell off in volume and it just felt so weak right there. If I could even have that raise in volume, and then oh, and then right there. Is that? No, that's fine. Okay. I think I'm happy with the beginning of the lead. Now there's something about this end part. Gotta make sure I don't get too hyper focused on it though, you know, because a lot of these smaller details, your opinion on them can change easily when you don't have your other parts in the song figured out, which is why I think I'm gonna jump to the noise channel and get this finished right now. So that means I'll do the thing where I listen to it from the beginning, see what the noise channel was up to, figure out how I want to carry forth with it. Okay. That's right. I was trying to have some of the metallic sounds. Now I'm not so sure. Why is it doing that? I think I just had a low starting point in the volume. We're good now. What was that sound? What did I do? Okay, I'm tripping. It's happening. I'm going crazy. Let's see. This is too quiet, I think. This is rising. Oh, maybe that's why I did that. I'll still want to have it start from a little higher, and I don't need this if I'm using 0A10 to do a crescendo here. Okay. Um, get some noise action in the lower end. Did I ever keep that symbol that I made, or did I say that I didn't need it? I think I said that I didn't need it, and now I'm thinking of needing it again. No, we'll make this 0 and just do a volume taper. And then I don't think, because the fine volume slide down, this overrides 0A, so I don't need to turn off this with 0A0. I do reset the volume here. But I will have to turn it off right here. I don't want that to drop off, this note that I'm adding right now. And then, oh gosh. How fast? Uh-huh. The notes are wrong a little bit. Uh, Let me listen in full. Okay. Get the tap. Oh gosh, gotta solo that. Get rid of the volume slide. Hit the wrong button and play from the beginning, because I love clicking the caps lock button for no reason. Uh, Huh? Oh yeah, the locked in. Sometimes I can talk while I'm composing, and other times I have to listen, and then for you it becomes a listening experience because I gotta think, gotta use the brain power. So right now there needs to be um accents in that rhythm right there, which there isn't right now. And to make accents, it's gonna be da 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 da. So da da da
Uh, da 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 da. Just adding some rolls in between the regular taps. Yeah. So, and I might even. That's the tap. Hold on, let's listen to it in full before I try this. What I'm thinking. Very present right now, overwhelming. What's going on here? Which I thought was going to happen. We're going to make it. Let's try this. 1, 2. This is my pluck and tick. No, let's do 4, 2. 4, 2. Did I just do that in the wrong order? I did. Okay. It's going to be a bit more subtle. Still going to need to. I think this isn't appropriate for this section. But the next section, yeah, we need something more simple. So I'm going to put that down there. And then we got to come up with something for this section that's a bit more simple. Doesn't take away from the focus of the lead that we just worked so hard to create. uh, we're just going to try stuff. Oops. Okay, okay. So, oh, we got rid of the noise thing again. Son of a gun. So, that's 7 for now. Let's see. This might be a thing. I like the feeling better, but I don't think those are the right notes. Actually, I hadn't even considered using the duty cycle command to add some metallic stuff to that part right there. Hold on, hold on.
Let's see. I do like the metallic part suddenly cutting in, but it's not doing it the way that I want it to right now, so that just means we'll be changing the notes. Um, what if I could? Is this possible? What? Okay, it's not. I was gonna see if I could just like loop a section that I highlight to just play that part, but I don't think there's a way to do that on Furnace. You just have to click Shift Enter. Problem with me clicking Shift Enter is I do it without looking, and like if I had a counter right now for the amount of times that I have hit caps lock instead of Shift Enter, it is just a depressing amount of times. Right there. I don't care for the metallic part right here. I like it, but it's taking away from here's what I'm gonna do. Here is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna create another instrument, and this is gonna be a V1 to V0 blank. That's what we're gonna call this, which means it's gonna go up here with our other blank. And what does that mean? It means that for a split second, this may or may not be something that I like. There's going to be a little bit of pulse width at the beginning of the note. So what does that do? Let's find the note that I was just complaining about. I think it was this one, A3. Yeah, okay, let's listen to that. Like, all that metallicness replaces the noise, right? Let me delete it. But also that volume fade right there, F450, is taking away from the impact of that and beat, which I don't like. We still need something to... Let's see, listen to it in full again before I continue. Boom, ching. Wanted it to start low and then get up. So, and see, I got rid of the metallic ting when I did that. I'll put it back in real quick. It actually sounds different because I changed the notes now. But that was what the whole... That's what this was for. To have that little... I don't even know if you can hear it. Oh, it's so subtle. Okay, well, we'll try by doing this. Make it last a little bit longer. Now it's a little bit more existent.
maybe actually get rid of the loop. Okay, okay, I think I like that better. And that, I put this down here to think more about it later, and I have thought about it. I don't think I like it. I don't think that complements the build-up we got going on that well. Maybe. Yeah, there's too much. Too much. I think I want something more steady. Like legit just like a quarter note sort of thing. Boom ching boom ching boom ching boom ching. Right, I think. Or an eighth note, not quarter note. I think I want this to pluck. And then and right now there's no behavior for this blank note. It just sustains. If I wanted it to sound like a cymbal or something, like now I'm gonna have to switch between the volume commands here, the volume slide commands. And then I could make it crescendo in increments. So like this would get louder. Actually, in fact, this start quieter, then get louder. Maybe. And that sustains too hard now that the volume level's high, so we'll make it drop down quicker. That might be better. I meant to play everything. And that could even afford to start quieter, maybe. Like just ever so slightly quieter. I want the tremolo thing to be more noticeable than the noise. Okay, dope. I think the last bar could be looped because it sounds for real. Thank you. That's one of the big questions I'm asking myself right now is I have this intro measure. Right? Got a good idea going right there. And I'm about to end this stream, but these are my closing thoughts, is that when I finish this song, I'm thinking what I'm going to want the ending to do is start back on this measure. So like this is just the pickup measure. Right? And then this measure that you just heard here. Whenever we reach the ending of the song, we'll have it build back up to jump back to this measure, and the song will be forever loopable. But yeah, this was good progress. I'm gonna listen to it from beginning to end, like I do at the end of every stream, and if I have any closing thoughts, we'll give them. All right, so this empty measure sounds disgusting because everything is just sustaining. But yeah, I mean, what we did this whole stream, I think, has put us in a good direction. There are some like minor details that are gonna need touching up, but the big idea, what I had anticipated for this measure, it's laid out pretty well. So I'll have fun playing around with that, and I'll be streaming next week, which will be near the game jam's conclusion. So this tune hopefully should have come along nicely, and I'll have more to share. But yeah, if you like this type of music, and are interested in composing with this type of sound chip, I had said in an earlier stream, one of my favorite composers who I feel like really pushes this chip to its limits, uh, goes by the name TQ Jam, and I'll put it in a chat. Feel free to look that composer up and listen to some of their works using the NES sound chip. I just think that the way that they push its limits is absolutely insane, and it's honestly been part of my inspiration for this piece and the way that I'm using arpeggiations and pitch shifting and just all of that stuff. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and next Thursday at 10 we'll be continuing this song. Y'all have a good day.